Hello, this is my community asset mapping project. My name is Valerie Gomez and I am doing the city of Anaheim. What is the area known for? The area actually has a lot of rich history. It was founded by German farmers in the 1950s who started off with grape vineyards and then moved on to citrus tree groves. This was actually due to a plague that ruined all the grape harvest, so they moved on to growing the first oranges of Orange County. The Anaheim Hills are also known for protecting these groves during bad weather that would happen during these times. The origin of the name Anaheim also comes from the German farmers. Anna representing the Santa Ana River where they were located by, and Heim representing home. During this time, it was a small town with a population of only 881, but by the 1950s it had grown up to 14,000. Now, some of the more touristic areas that are known for the city of Anaheim are the Disneyland Resort, the Angel Stadium of Anaheim, and the Anaheim Packing House. Listed here are more touristic and popular spots that could be found throughout the city. According to the Data USA numbers, in 2018, the median household income was $76,154. While there is known gang involvement throughout the city, in 2017 it was reported through the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting that was the year with the least gang-related crimes. The city has various gang prevention programs, such as the ones listed below, but the most interesting had to be GRIP, which stands for the Gang Reduction and Intervention Partnership, and this is where they mentor children from grades 4th to 8th grade with leadership skills and activities, getting the parents involved, and working with teachers and staff to look out for gang behavior, and they're located in 9 schools throughout the city of Anaheim. In the 2019 point-in-time count of Orange County, it was reported that Anaheim had 1,202 people experiencing homelessness. Also in 2019, the city opened up 2 new homeless shelters, totaling up to more than 400 spaces available. This is provided by the city in efforts to keep homeless people off of the streets, get them shelter, a safer, cleaner environment for the community. Shelters include services by the Salvation Army and the Illumination Foundation, services like weekly outreach, case management, medical care, mental health and workforce services, and emergency transitional permanent housing. Moving on to the geography. There are a total of 57 parks in the city of Anaheim, some of them including Ponderosa Park, Stoddard Park, and La Palma Park. I was able to visit these and notice that they were mostly clean, lots of visible trash cans, and specifically by the family resource centers, it was actually very busy with people. I felt safe during the AM hours because there was a lot of foot traffic, a lot of children and families using the facilities. Towards the PM, it was also crowded, but just different types of people, more skaters, groups of adolescents, and fitness people. In 2015, there was the implementation of 2 new family resource centers, Mira Loma and Ponderosa, and these were created in efforts to rebuild the previous unsafe bad area. When I asked people around the area, they described how they were used to a lot of crime, shootings, and gang members, but ever since this implementation, they don't see it as much and they feel better that it's new and clean. About the cleanliness of the city, everything seemed perfect, new, and in order all around this Disneyland Resort area. The sidewalks are wider, with images of Disney everywhere and beautiful lights and palm trees that surrounded this area. Lots of foot traffic as well. But just a few streets away from the resort, the sidewalks get more narrow, you see tents and bikes set up that belong to the homeless, and the grass on the sidewalks are yellow and not cut. According to the demographics provided by Data USA in 2018, the largest race living in Anaheim was Hispanics, followed by whites, Asians, African Americans, and then at the end, multiracial and American Indian. The median age was 34.4. The median household income was $76,154, and there were various levels of employment, with the highest being office and administration jobs at 12.9%, followed by sales at 12.7%. There were management positions, food positions, business, construction, transportation, and then at the very bottom there were personnel, care services, and maintenance in the 2% range. Education. 77.1% is a high school graduate or higher, while 25.5% has a bachelor's degree or higher. The most graduated university was American Career College, West Coast University, and Southern California Institute of Technology. The most graduated ethnicity was 40% Latino Hispanic, followed by 23% white and 22.6% Asian. Infrastructure. Transportation. In 2018, it was reported that 78.3% of people drove to work alone, 11% carpooled, 2.84% used public transit, while the rest walked, rode motorcycles or bicycles, or got a taxi to work. The average car ownership was 2 per household. The newest source of transportation is the ARTIC, the Anaheim Regional Transportation Intermodal Center, which opened in 2014 and can be defined as a premier transportation hub where you can hop onto a Metrolink train, Greyhound bus, taxi or Uber, or even bike it. There are different types of public buses throughout the city of Anaheim, including Octa, ART, and Fran. The most interesting that I was able to find was called the Fran, free rides around the neighborhood, and it's an electrical vehicle that rides throughout downtown Anaheim. All you have to do is put in a ride request through the mobile app or by hailing a ride at one of the stops. There was also the ART, Anaheim Resort Transportation, which is for residents, employees, and guests of the city of Anaheim and the Anaheim Resort area, also including cities of Garden Grove and Orange. Community-based agencies. There was a wide variety that city had to offer, some of them being the Family Resource Centers, the Community Centers, while there was also the Salvation Army of Anaheim, Hope Center, which helps with mental health treatment, and Anaheim Drug Treatment Rehab Center, which helps with substance abuse recovery. Availability of fresh, healthy foods. There was a farmer's market I was able to find. It is located in downtown Anaheim every Thursday from 11 to 3, where vendors come with fresh, organic, natural fruit and food options. There was one Mother's Market and Kitchen found in the area. When you look around, there's mostly supermarkets such as Northgate, El Super, Food for Less, and Walmart neighborhood markets. Therefore, I would say the availability of healthy foods is limited and not many organic store options. Availability of housing. The median household income was $76,154, while the median cost of a house in the area was $606,600. They do have the Anaheim Affordable Housing. This is a program provided by the city with affordable apartments in affordable communities with rental assistance vouchers and housing assistance programs in the city. We also have a Section 8, which are city-supported communities that use Section 8 funding, where 100% of the homes are affordable. For my interview, I was able to interview Maureen Richardson from the City of Anaheim, who is a Community Services Coordinator and Director of the Anaheim Senior Center. How long have you lived in this city of Anaheim? I have lived here for 40 years and worked for the city for 23 years. I asked if she could tell me a little bit of the history of Anaheim, and she responded that Anaheim has big German ancestry, which is how we even got the name of Anaheim. Ana representing the Santa Ana River and Heim meaning home. Anaheim was known for its grape area and how wine was made here, but then it switched to oranges. Also in the 1950s, it was the big space area for downtown Anaheim, where big companies like Boeing would come and make their parts. When asked how would you describe Anaheim to someone who knows little about it, she replied with, "It has a rich history in creating Southern California. It went from the wine to orange industry and was able to grow as well through the aerospace industry. It brought in business and has a very diverse population with a lot of culture, which is a great mix." I asked, what are unique characteristics of Anaheim? Maureen had to say that it was a big economic difference all throughout the city. It is a tourist capital and there is some rich history up in the hills as well. I remember when there was nothing here. On the 91 freeway there was nothing, no cars, not a lot of roads. It's amazing to see the city to keep on growing and getting bigger. When asked what are the needs of the city, she believes there needs to be more unity here. There seems to be a rivalry between the East and the West because the West receives more grant funding and whatnot, but it needs to be a more homogeneous city. We have 5 different school districts here. I asked, what would you change about the city? And she replied with, I would have the council members become more unified, not one against the other. They need the leadership skills to unite people, a community. I also asked her, if you had several $1,000,000, what would you do with that money to improve the quality of life of residents in Anaheim? She wanted to build more senior centers, but just for seniors. She says, we currently share the facility with the community, so they have just a pool room and some tables. I've seen how isolation makes them sad, and in the whole city, we don't have a place just for them. Seniors built this place, so we have to respect and honor them. How would you describe the level of involvement and investments of leaders of this community? She thinks some are interested in either people or business. They would get more done if they united people who would push for things in the city. Back then, 25, 30 years ago, more things got done. The last question was what can helpers do to contribute to alleviate the problem in this community? She believes it's in volunteering. In doing so, you get so much out of it than you think. You develop leadership roles and it gives you a drive, a purpose in something that directly affects someone's life for the best. Strengths and challenges. Some strengths I was able to find throughout the city was gang prevention programs and their implementation of family resource centers. The gang preventions they have set up in the schools was a great way to get people educated on how they can prevent the youth from falling into gangs. Also, the family resource centers was another great way to get the community more involved and to take out bad behavior which was coming from the surrounding neighborhoods. Some challenges I noticed the city is still facing is getting homeless off of the streets, creating a cleaner city all around, and healthier options to communities. Recommendations. In regards to homelessness, I would make it a priority to help in the mental health and addiction aspect of it. The city's approach to getting people off the streets is more about getting them into shelters, but that doesn't do much when the majority of these people show clear signs of mental health problems. If we can treat their addictions, it's a different approach to what has been tried in the past, and maybe we can see different results. Once the addiction has been treated, then we can move on to the housing and getting them settled into a job if that may be. My second recommendation would be geared towards the cleaner community. I would set up monthly community cleanups throughout the neighborhoods. Everyone likes to see a clear, safe area. Therefore, the ones with a higher push for it could be the coordinators in doing so. With the assistance of a neighborhood services employee, they could be granted with a light morning breakfast and then materials to clean with for the day, along with a dumpster. This concludes my presentation for the City of Anaheim. I hope you were able to find this information helpful. Thank you for watching.